Cloudcast Media. Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, and we have a very, very special guest that is coming on. You're going to recognize her voice because she's my co-host. But she had some time and wanted to chat about the 20th anniversary of her organization, and that is San Diego Writers, Inc., and it is this is the word of the year for me.
Inimitable?
Close.
See, I can't ever say it. That's
inimitable.
Inimitable. Oh,
inimitable. Try that again.
Inimitable.
Perfect.
Hey.
The inimitable Kristen Fogle. She executive director of the organization. Thanks for jumping in, and you got a whole bunch of activities and things going on in this year. How long have you been with San Diego Writers, Inc.?
I have been there for 11 years as of this month.
And all as executive director, or did you start as a board member? Or how?
No, I started as the program coordinator, director, and then our ED left shortly thereafter. And I said, right. I can figure out how to do this. So,
yes, and you've done it very, very well. Of course, the organization has thrived under you.
Thank you.
With some great folks like Judy Reeves, and there's too many folks. Jilly Bean Hall, I have to mention Jilly Bean, and you guys have just done a great job and really expanded what your footprint is out there. Have you always been interested in writing? I know you perform, and I know you are on the stage, and you write plays and everything in between. But that why it was a natural progression to be doing what you're doing now?
I think I've always been a journal writer. I think I said this in one of my books. It started with the really bad journal entries in American Girl diaries from second grade on, and I've just always been a writer.
Right, exactly. So what got you to say, listen, I want to now run this organization. I think we can really expand what we're doing.
Yeah, so I kind of found myself into the magazine industry right after my undergrad at Cal State Northridge.
Very good.
I was like, I should probably get a career now. And so I was trying to figure out what that was and interned in the magazine industry and kind of fell into this college entertainment realm. So interviewing celebrities and doing product reviews and all sorts of really fun stuff for a gal in her early 20s to do. So I was doing that for a while and realized I was doing that from home quite a bit and staring at my dog. And as lovely as she was, I was like, I really need to see some humans. So I found San Diego Writers, Inc. It's really easy to find us. You just any combination of writers in San Diego. Wow. And so I saw that they had a position opened and thought, hey, I'd like to be a part of that.
Now, were you down here already in San Diego, or are you still in the Valley?
I was. I think I just finished grad school at SDSU. We both went there.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah.
Aztec for life.
Exactly, yeah. Right. So I was down here and looking for something to do, and it just kind of came along at the right point in time. And they were kind of going through a transition at the time, and I've talked about this kind of spaghetti theory of life, I think, on the show before, just throwing a bunch of stuff on the walls. And so that's what I did with programming. And I tripled the programming within a couple of years.
That's great.
Saw a little bit of that slide down with COVID, but really ramp up online. And so we're pretty solid. We do a lot of programming.
Now, are you a membership organization, or there's a fee for service? Is that how you build up your largesse so you can offer more classes? How's that work?
Largesse, good word.
Thank you.
We'll put that one on I don't want you to say largesse, co-star, co-host, but we'll put it in the bank regardless.
Okay.
It is a membership organization. Yeah. So we've got, I think probably, don't quote me on this, I think about 650 members. But I always tell people you do not need to be a member to do anything.
Right.
You support the organization by being a member, and you get a pretty significant discount off of classes and programs and free submissions to A Year in Ink, which is our annual anthology, going into our 17th year of that. So there are definite perks, but, I want people to know that this is an organization for everybody. And
right. And you pretty much hit every genre of writing, or is there some that, we really mostly focus on next? I know memoir is big for you guys.
Yeah, memoir is big for us, novel writing, poetry. We have certificate programs in all three of those disciplines, which means you can go through a year-long program and kind of, go from knowing not a lot to producing some sort of substantial writing. But we try to hit all the genres. It depends on the time of year. It depends on availability of instructors.
Right.
I've got kind of this pool of like 75 instructors, but they're not always available. And they're also, professional writers. So they've got deadlines and things like that too. But typically I'm trying to hit all of the genres.
Right. We're chatting with Kristen Fogle. She's the executive director of San Diego Writers, Inc., celebrating their 20th anniversary. We'll chat about some of the things they have in mind for this year. I'm Drew Schlosberg, as you've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest running community podcast in our 18th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, broadcasting in these really cool studios here in Scripps Ranch. And Mission Fed, as anybody knows, has done wonderful things in our region for more than 6 decades. So do you have any sort of a headline or a featured 20th anniversary celebration? I think you and I were talking offline that there's going to be one, and you're just sort of in the development stage. Is that correct?
Yeah, we're kind of hoping to do something to celebrate our 20th anniversary every month. So for instance, not the readership, the listenership will have missed this by now, but tomorrow, Saturday, we'll be having a pop-up anniversary party at Liberty Station at our offices there. So we'll be doing some just kind of fun games and raffle prizes and things like that. So we hope to do events like that every month or so. And so, we're gonna celebrate this thing all year long and probably do a big thing at the Lightbox, which is also in Liberty Station.
Nice.
In maybe October. We're still throwing around some dates.
Right. And I'm sure it's a great location. You folks have been there for how long? Have you been there? You haven't been there all 20 years?
No, we moved there 6 months after I started. So we've been there about 10 years.
So and as that area, I should say, just continues to grow with so many cool things. I mean, from where you were when you got there to what it is now, you can't even recognize the place.
It was a little bit of a ghost town. There were people there, but
sure.
The marketplace certainly wasn't there. They weren't doing the ice skating rink.
That's right.
There were, and then, it became ghost town a little bit again during COVID. And now it is just up and flourishing and people can't wait to get in there. And
right. That's got to be a benefit to you guys. Do people stumble across you or not necessarily? They go there because they know they have to go.
No, people stumble. Yeah. People just kind of come in and say, we didn't know that you were here. Yeah. And I encourage people to stumble all over Liberty Station. There's people making jewelry, people doing fine art of all different disciplines. The New Americans Museum is there.
Yes, I know.
The Visions Art Museum, just there's so much to see. And people are always shocked when they go there, like dance companies. And whatnot.
Watercolor Society is there. We featured them on this on the show as well. So what is Cultivating Joy workshops? What does that mean? Yeah,
so Cultivating Joy, I can't take credit for, but our one of our board members, Thelma Verada de Castro, she got a Far South Border North grant. And so she received this grant to do a social justice and community engagement program. And so she's going to be at the Skyline Library and one other doing these weekly workshops. So if your listeners are interested, go check out Thelma Verado de Castro's website or go to Writers Inc. And we're partnering with her. They're free workshops. They're nature-based. Thelma herself is writing a play during this process, and there'll be some sort of culminating event. But it's just a free way for people to kind of drop in and do a bit of writing. And I think with that too, I want to plug some of our other free and low cost ways to just kind of dip in.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So we just restarted our Brown Bag, which is a program that was going on for, I think, almost 30 years, predated San Diego Writers Inc., that organization. But it's just a drop-in writing group, and we have several of them. So that particular one is online every Tuesday at noon. You pay, I think, $7 to participate. You can join, seconds before it starts. There's, no pressure to sign up ahead of time. And then you get a prompt and you just write. And so you can do that on Monday mornings in person. You can do that Tuesday online. You can do, we have so many. We have Monday evening online. We have a Friday afternoon online. That one's free. So, these writing practice groups, if anyone's interested in where to start, I say just go to one of those. And then I always talk about our friend, Jill Hall.
Right.
That's how she wrote a lot of her novel, was just dipping into these groups and writing scenes there. So they can be whatever you want them to be. It's just a nice sort of starting point.
Right, exactly. We asked this question you before, and of course, when you have folks on like...
Is it going to be a San Diego a good writer's town? Is that the question that you're leading to?
That is very good. This is what, yes, that's right.
I can read your mind now.
Well, she's almost like Karnak, the magnificent. And then what you're going to have to do is you have to Google Johnny Carson to figure out what Karnak is and all that business. Okay. Do you know what Karnak is?
No, but I know Johnny Carson, so I was going to try to just skate by on that knowledge. So,
my goodness, you're just too young. You're just too...
so youthful.
You just, yes.
I know.
You are in this. Yeah, so, is it a great writer's town? What makes a great writer's town?
Yeah. I think that this is just an appealing location to live. And so you're going to have lots of artists, lots of writers. And part of our tagline is, everyone has a story to tell.
That's right.
Write yours right now. So yes, San Diego is a good writing town, but also, does that matter? Like, everyone has a story, and I think that's what I really want to cultivate is...
it makes a difference when there's a venue, there's a place that embraces it, you guys. And, listen, not that people can't embrace it in other different areas, but there's a home. And, now I can come and do these drop-in writing workshops, or I can figure out how I can do X, Y, and Z. Do I want to do this? I've always wanted to tell this story.
Right.
Everyone, the great American novelist, right? I started a screenplay with a buddy of mine. We're on page 2. It's only been 42 years.
You're going to get there. It's going to be great. You're going to get to page 3, like in at least the next decade.
I think we teased this about it before on the show, that we started writing our Academy Award acceptance speech before we went to page 3.
Yeah.
Okay, exactly. So, we'll see what happens on that. We're again chatting with Kristen Fogle. She is the executive director of San Diego Writers Inc., celebrating their 20th anniversary this year. Got a whole bunch of fun things planned. They are located at Liberty Station. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. So on the website, it talks about all the upcoming classes, pretty much.
Talks about all the upcoming classes. We have some good ones. Our memoir certificate program is starting this Saturday, but you can really just jump in, even if you've missed the first session or two.
Right.
People are always, as we've talked about, love to do memoir. And so don't let the certificate daunt you. You can do that if you see fit, but you could take this first kind of gentle 6-week class and see if you like it. We also have a novel characters class that's taught by Tammy Greenwood. That is entirely online, and it's at your own pace.
Right.
So we've been offering a few of those programs because, everybody's busy and things like that.
Right. Did those online really get jump-started because of COVID, so to speak, or were you doing online before then?
We weren't. Tammy teaches for a few different places in town, so I think she was doing this beforehand, and we may have offered like a Write Your Novel online course.
Right.
But no, the pandemic really just gave us Zoom as a tool, and we still utilize it. There's still writers who won't get out of their pajamas, like most of the read and critique groups.
Yeah, and you're an example. You come in your pajamas every year to go host the show.
That is really rude. I dress up for you. I, brush my...
your new hair?
Yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah,
so,
that's not really bad
yeah,
at all.
that's fine.
Yeah,
It'll be better next week.
Yeah. Kristen, when we come back from break, let's talk about something that's near and dear to both of our hearts. And this is why we do this stuff on our Spotlight show, and why Charles Parisi, my business partner and the founder of CEO of Cloudcast Media, it's all about storytelling.
Yeah.
And why it's so important to do that. And then, talk about some of the current and upcoming gallery shows as well. How's that sound?
That sounds great.
We'll be right back with Kristen Fogle. She's the executive director of San Diego Writers Inc. I'm Drew Schlosberg. As you're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, the nation's longest-running community podcast. We are now in our 18th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, continuing to do great things for San Diego folks in this county for more than 6 decades. We will be right back.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, and we are back with Kristen Fogle. She is the Executive Director of San Diego Writers Inc., talking about their 20th anniversary. They're celebrating this year from January through December, and all these cool things that are in between. Right before break, we just talked about just how critical storytelling is.
Yeah.
Probably more so almost any time with all the stuff going on in this crazy discombobulated world. It is important to get your story out, is it not?
Yeah, it's absolutely important. I mean, I'll throw it back to you just because I like to put you in the hot seat and make you uncomfortable. But I mean, on the as long as I've been doing this show, at least, which is about 5 or 6 years, you always have on the guest details sheet, tell us a story that makes you most proud of your organization.
Right.
And why do you include that on there?
Well, because a lot of it is personal.
Yeah.
And I don't mean personal as to delve into something that's private, but something that this is what geeks me up about what I do. Mm-hmm. And it inevitably involves people.
Yeah.
It always is. It's not this award I won or I was X, Y, and Z. We had somebody come to our program, pick a topic what the program was, and had some challenges to X, Y. This person now is gainfully employed, is reconnected with their family. They are thriving. They change lives.
Yeah.
And usually every one of those is changing lives. And that's what storytelling does, is it not?
Yeah. And you're talking about the connective tissue, right? So
Correct.
I can say, what you do at the blood bank is so wonderful and amazing or whatever. But, they tell us about a specific story of an individual who's revived literally by the work that they did. And that makes me want to connect to that organization,
Well, and I think that's something that's really important to us here. We've been doing this for quite a while, as you know, and I know it's and you've seen it with all the guests that have come through here. It's amazing. Sometimes we have a guest that's waiting to be in the wings, but we have them in the studio so they can hear the guest before them. And it's amazing how many connections there were. I mean, the classic example was we were interviewing Laura Vasey. She is the Executive Director of Homestart. And Laura has been around for quite a while, does a great job at that organization, working in a very, very tough, field. And I think when the person was waiting in the wings, she said, I wonder how these interviews are, which is from the San Diego Watercolor Society. So the interview's over, and the lady, and I can't remember her name right now, from the Watercolor Society goes, well, do you need someone to donate some door prizes for your event that's coming up? That'd be great. She did 6. Well, I happened to go to the event, and there she is. She's manning the booth. And those are the things that are so important.
Yeah.
You tell the story, and someone wants to connect to you.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you, I had told you this before, that one of the highlights of my year last year was coming on the show. And it's, all of these inspiring people get me really revved up, and energize the work that I do. But also, I mean, the unexpected connections, right? I'm talking to Neil about doing something up at Mount Soledad and, the Humane Society. All of a sudden, I'm going to own 2 turtles and just all the things,
Right.
That was a really surprising thing. So it's great that the guests get to kind of commingle and do that.
Well, I think what it comes down to is in this phenomenally divisive world we live in, that, listen, a lot of us want the same commonalities. We want to actually do good things in the community. We want to help our brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
And when it comes down to it, we have a lot in common, even though you wouldn't think about it in this area. And that's why on this show, the Spotlight Show, we're just honored people have these like things. I want to help.
Yeah.
How do I help? And it's really important, that area. So do you have gallery shows coming up?
We do. We fun fact about us, we've always had a gallery. So even since we were downtown and everything, we have wall space. So we figure we can feature some artists. So Zoe Garamani is a wonderful author. She's done San Diego Book Awards and been honored in a lot of different ways. I think she's still the president of the Friends of the San Diego Public Library Central location, and one of kind of the people that helped jumpstart Writers Inc. altogether. And so I thought for the 20th anniversary, to start that off, it would be great to have her visual art up in the space. So we have it up there. It's beautiful. We've sold several pieces. And I mean, one of the good things too is that when you buy art from us, 40% of that goes back to the organization also. So it's just a way to get beautiful art in your home, to support an artist or an artist author in the case of Zoe and us. So it's kind of a win-win.
No, do you work with the schools at all? Do the school groups come to you? Do you come to them? And if you do you offer discounts or do you offer free classes for schools? How does that work? If you even do that?
Yeah, so we work with Liberty School, so we'll be doing that again, and that's a program put on by Liberty Station.
Right.
And so it's introducing the various different art forms, mainly by way of arts integration, but also, kind of these arts for art's sake sort of residencies as well. And so they'll bus kids in, or we'll go to those schools. And so we'll have some folks from Washington Elementary who's coming in. We've worked with them several times. We've worked with Dewey Elementary, several of them. So we'll do residencies that way. I was also working with homeschool groups before the pandemic started, and I'd love to jumpstart. If there's anyone who's listening who has homeschool programs, we would love to help in that way. We'll help Girl Scout troops. We'll help any sort of groups. Like I love the kiddos, as you know. So I'd love to do more of that.
Yeah. Well, and I think, writing it's funny. You and I've had this conversation. I think when you brought, Judy on before, or Jill Hall. And I used to work with a gentleman when we were developing curriculum and back in the day. And some people just ponder and ponder and ponder. 8 hours have gone by and you haven't put one word on the page. And you want to sit there and just, just put words on the page. You can fool around with it later.
Yeah,
and all this.
You can't edit a blank page.
You cannot edit a blank page.
Yep.
And so maybe, in an upcoming edition, we'll come in there and maybe give some tips. Bring Judy back on.
Sure.
Put you on the guest side of the aisle and talk about, here's some starter ideas if you want to do it. The easiest starter idea is go to the website. You can see all these beginning classes. What can our listeners do to help you celebrate your 20th anniversary?
Gosh, please just visit our website, come to an event. We always need volunteers. If you are a visual artist, I'm still looking to populate the shows for the rest of the year. So I'd love to support you. Donations are wonderful. Also, donations, we're looking for stuff. We're looking for new chairs and tables and, paint to repaint. So, time, talent, treasure, all the things we can use those.
And what's the website?
It is writeyourstorynow.org.
Oh, okay. Very, very good. San Diego Writers Inc., INK, not INC.
Indeed, yeah.
Exactly. And or they can, just gin you up, go find your email. Is that correct?
Yeah. Some of your guests offer their cell phone numbers. I'm a step just below that. Find my email. I will get back to you, hopefully in a timely fashion, but I always want to connect.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Well, always good having you on the other side of the microphone.
Thank you. It goes so fast. I feel like we've been speaking for 4 seconds. So
it was 4 seconds, basically. And even though it's going to show 27 minutes on it. No, listen, in all seriousness, really appreciate all the great work you're doing at San Diego Writers Inc. And even more importantly, you've been a great co-host, and looking forward to that continuing for as long as you can tolerate me.
Thank you. I would love it.
All right. Very, very good. Kristen Fogle, just enjoy every bit of that 20th anniversary.
Thanks so much.
But I'm Drew Schlosberg, and you've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, the nation's longest running community podcast. We're in our 18th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, continuing to do spectacular things for San Diego County folks for more than 6 decades. We hope you enjoyed the show.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.